So here we are with all our supplies. We got plaster of Paris and some bandage stuff there. We got universal mold release. We got pigmentation for the silicone in that box. And we've got a big old load of clay. And then we got our head mock-ups back there. So what we got to do now is we got to, well, kind of tape that one down and tape all the frayed edges up, like where the tape's peeling and stuff. And then I'm going to plow into this clay and slap it all over the mold and actually make it look more like not a hunk of frickin' wood and masking tape, you know. So right now we'll just clean her all up and then get the clay going. This video is going to be pretty much just a time lapse of me making these head molds, so enjoy. So I just slapped a little bit of clay on here, and I'm gonna wrap her up and see how she does overnight. See if it'll just crumble up and fall off, or if it just stays there and does nothing. Hopefully it stays there and does nothing, because I'm not gonna be able to do this all in one night, that's for sure. So it's been like 2 days now, and I'm gonna take this apart. Yeah, it crumbled right up. Maybe I just gotta wrap it in better plastic. And I think if you just re-moisten it, it kind of gets okay. And I did do just a really thin patch, so that's probably why it crumbled and fell away. Let's get to it. Well, alright. So we've got her pretty detailed up here now. The next step is to make a seam where the cast is going to come apart. So we got this basically garbage from work, and you just cut her out and shove it on in there and make sure it all works out. That's the next step. I've went out to the shop and I cut this nice piece of plywood. So here we are. I kind of made it wrong on this side because you're not supposed to have the overlap like this, but I'll make it work. And it is my first time, so I will be forgiving on myself. So the last thing I gotta do is make sure that everything is the way I want it to look when I put the plaster on. Because that is the next step, is putting the plaster on. So one of the first things we want to do is put some petroleum jelly all over the wood here to make sure that the plaster doesn't stick to it. And we're also going to use some mold release. Universal mold release, but this is just an extra step, so you don't want that plaster sticking. Go around twice for good luck. The next step is to put a layer of baby powder on. Here we go. It's all dusted up, ready to go. Just hope that it's good enough. Time to mix some plaster up. So the last part of this endeavor is to take strips of this stuff, cut it up, wet it down, and reinforce. This stuff they put on like your cast if you break your arm or your leg, like I did. It'll just make it nice and strong. So let's give this thing some strength. It's pretty So it's now been a couple of days, and I probably shouldn't have left it this long, but we have our mold, and I'm going to now take it apart, see what the heck I got in there. Hopefully it resembles Bebop. Stay tuned. Here we go. We're going to try and get this off. It already like popped right off of the plywood, and it's still Vaseline-y, so that worked. Haha. So we got her off, but unfortunately we got some major cracking in the back and up in the side and stuff. That piece is missing. So I think what I'm gonna do is just, you know, pull all this out and kind of patch it back together as best as I can. And then we're gonna clean it up and let it dry again, and hopefully we can make it look half decent, because it's gonna suck if we can't. I think it'll be fine. As far as this is going, this is a pretty big bummer. So there it is, the mold. It's got cracks, it's got spots that don't match up. There's going to be gigantic seams, but I think it's going to work. So now I'm going to work on Rocksteady and do all this all over again. So here we are, about to pour another mold. Well, slop it around is more like it. Just wanted to note that this is a 3-part mold. Just the trouble I was having with Bebop, I just wanted to save myself that this time, and hopefully that it doesn't get caught on the teeth and stuff this time, but that should be easy to get off. Alright, I'm off to it. So this is what I ended up with. It's not very thick. I ran out of plaster, so I will make it thicker. Keep on building up the layers until I get it to a thickness I like, and then I'm going to use like this bandage type stuff again on that, and it should be good. So here we are. We have our 2 mask molds finally made after countless hours of messing around and countless money. I'm still going to do a little bit of patchwork on, there's a little hole right there, and some other stuff, and just clean it up a little bit more. But I'm almost ready to frickin' cast, and it's been quite a process. This one was particularly a pain in the butt because I was trying to do it, and I was trying to be cheap, and I frickin' mixed the plaster not as well. And in the end, it crumbled away and died, so I had to take it all apart, do the clay again, and then do. So that'd be a lesson to you: don't be cheap with your plaster. Mix it extra thick. Don't mix it what they say on the box. Mix it even thicker than that. But yeah, so I'm gonna wait for my brother to get here, and then we're gonna cast some frickin' silicone into these 2 fine molds that I made 10 days away from con, so we're gonna still try and make it happen. But first I think I should clean the shit out of this room, because it is a mess. Smoke break. Ugh. It's pretty heavy.